Hi everyone, welcome to my first video on this channel. If you recognize my voice at all, you probably know me from the Anorak channel, where I post videos about anime what ifs. This will be similar, but we'll be going into shows that are not anime related, such as Marvel and DC. Our first story will be what if Spider-Man was in the TITANS. Not you, definitely not you. This one, made in 2003, which in my eyes is the most fitting place to put Peter Parker. Now that brings the question of which version am I going to use. I believe that the overall best Spider-Man you used is Josh Keaton's Spectacular Spider-Man. Now, how could I add him to this universe? I think honestly the best choice is just to take Peter, his family, and his friends and villains and put them in Jump City instead of New York. Simple and easy without there being any cliches of him moving anywhere. So with that out of the way, let's just begin. Peter Parker is a young man who lives with his aunt and uncle, May and Ben Parker. Peter one day goes on a field trip and gets bitten by a genetically alternated spider. You know the rest. He gets spider powers, and at first he uses his powers for money, but after the death of his uncle Ben, he soon learns to take responsibility for his new powers and adopts the new alter ego of Jump City's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. One day he's swinging across the city. He finds a man flying around in a birdsuit, causing trouble. He soon learns that this is the Vulture and makes a lot of jokes revolving around Halloween coming early this year. Peter soon deals with Vulture, and then as he wakes him up, a green streak flashes past his head. He decides to check it out and finds a girl in a crash suit. He lands down saying he didn't know that angels actually fell from heaven before webbing her gauntlets. Feeling attacked, she yanks him forward and punches him flying into a car. Peter then gets back up and cracks his back. Just then, someone else arrives. Peter blinks. Is that Robin from Gotham? He gets excited, assuming that Batman's about to show up too. He swings over to him, saying how he's a big fan of his work, and then asks what is he doing here in Jump City. Robin then says that he just moved here, and Peter nods, letting him know that alien girls don't usually show up here, and he just came on a bad day. Robin then rolls his eyes under his mask, thinking to himself if he's ever going to shut up. The girl yells at them in an unknown language, which Peter then asks Robin if he has a translator. Robin shakes his head, and the two jump into fight. The girl is extremely powerful. Her punch is strong enough to leave a crater in the ground. She suddenly throws a bus, and then another person arrives in a hoodie. He stops the bus and then gets angry, asking who's messing up the city. Soon two others arrive. Peter recognizes one of them as from the Doom Patrol, and the other girl is wrapped in a cloak that looks kind of scary. These being Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Raven. The group all work together and try to calm this girl down, but she doesn't listen. Robin then decides to try and help her by removing her arms from her handcuffs. She suddenly then kisses him and then throws him to the ground, saying in English to leave her alone. She then flies off. The group all decide to go after her. Upon finding her again, they all team up against a new threat known as the Gordians. Things remain relatively the same here, with them defeating the aliens slightly quicker thanks to Peter being there. The girl then introduces herself as Starfire, and then the group are given communicators in case of a later moment's distress. And so the Teen Titans are born. Soon a tower is made for the team, but with Peter having school and still keeping his identity hidden from his Aunt May, he doesn't officially live there yet. But every weekend he does crash on the couch and plays video games and eats a lot of pizza with Beast Boy and Cyborg. Saying to May that it's a youth club that he's joined. May is more than happy to accept this as long as Peter is safe and making good friends. Peter, of course, is there for every fight, though he is a little late as a result and gets scolded by Raven for being tardy and sometimes unreliable. Robin, who is the leader, though doesn't mind, as he thinks that Peter is fun to be around and also is a very skilled fighter and useful. Time passes, a new group of villains arrive, calling themselves Hive. The Titans all jump in, seeing a stroller on the road and an incoming bus. They stop the stroller, realizing there's just a tie bar in it, and also the bus has no one else in it as well. And then the villains arrive. The fight then goes on, mostly the same, with Peter being absent. By the time he does arrive though, the Titans have been defeated by Hive. Peter, Beast Boy, and Raven go back to the tower. It's there when Raven demands to know where Peter was the entire time. Peter flinches and then explains that he had a final exam and his teacher wouldn't let him leave after he finished. He apologizes to, and Beast Boy says not to worry about it. Cyborg and Starfire arrive, and Starfire immediately asks where Robin is, and the others just shrug and shake their heads. The Hive then infiltrate the tower and kick the Titans out into the sea. Jinx then finishes them off using her hexes to create a big wave to wash them up. After this, the team are definitely tense with each other. Raven, especially with Peter, due to his tardiness. They all think it's over with when Robin then arrives with a plan. The Titans then enter the tower again at night, and with their new plan in action, they defeat Hive, restoring everything back to normal. The group all sit in the common room, and Peter then asks if anyone else saw Cyborg checking out Jinx. Cyborg tried to deny the claim, saying he was looking for the best approach to take her down, when Beast Boy chimes in, saying that he was definitely checking her out, which Cyborg then grabs him and pulls him in a headlock. Everyone laughs. Time passes, and one day Starfire's older sister Blackfire arrives on Earth. She becomes affiliated with everyone, giving Starfire an amulet, and confidently analysing everyone in the group. She then looks Peter up and down, and then flirts with him a little regarding his physique. She then goes to take a peek under his mask, which Peter then steps away, very flustered. Peter doesn't exactly have a role in this episode, as it's more Starfire driven, but Peter does help in stopping Blackfire by webbing her legs and holding her in place as she's then arrested. More time passes, and one day, Dr. Kirk Connors, Peter's mentor in a science internship, injects himself with a serum that turns him into a lizard. Peter then gets the Titans to help him out, telling him that Connors is a good man and is not a criminal. The Titans understand, and Cyborg and Peter work together to create an antidote. Robin, Raven, Beast Boy, and Starfire all work together on restraining Dr. Connors. Beast Boy wrestles with Connors as a dinosaur. Meanwhile, Robin and Raven distract him as Starfire hits him with blasts. Spider-Man and Cyborg arrive, and Peter jumps onto his back and injects him, reverting him back to his human form. His wife runs to him and hugs him tightly, as he soon apologizes to the Titans. After he goes home, the Titans then return to the tower. Peter removes his mask and takes a long look at the antidote he and Cyborg made. It would be so easy, he thinks to himself. So easy to just make all of his problems, all of his pain and suffering go away with just drinking this. He then looks at the Titans, his friends. He'd be letting them down. He'd be letting the city down. He'd be letting Uncle Ben down. And above all else, he'd be letting himself down. Spidey says because Spidey's needed. For now, anyway. He puts the antidote down and returns to his friends, unaware that Raven was actually observing them the whole time. She saw his temptation to cure himself of his spider powers, and that makes her question, why would someone like him, who doesn't seem to have a care in the world, want to give up? Is there more to Peter than what he shows? Only time will tell. And that's where I'm going to leave this part off. What do you think of it? If you have any suggestions for the story, please leave them in the comments below. And if you want to see more episodes in this series, or more from this channel, can we try and get this video to around 25 likes for the next part? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel also, and turn on post notifications so you never miss another video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you later.